Hi everybody, Creative Katie here, Karen Burchill. Welcome to Mixed Media Creations. Don't forget to hit the subscribe button in the lower right hand corner and select the option to be notified of as soon as I upload a new video. Follow me on Instagram. See what I'm up to on a more regular basis. Today we have a mixed media mini tutorial and it's entitled Seek Balance. It's also a Create With Me video, so get out a gel print or collage paper, coordinating paint colors, stencil modeling paste, and a focal point. When you finish your mini, don't forget to share it on my Facebook group, Mixed Media Creations. So this is an ATC size mini. It is 2.5 by 3.5 inches, and I am just recycling, reusing packaging from my stencil. And on the left you see a deli paper that I have put off used paint, and then I just stenciled with the used paint, or leftover paint I should say. And sometimes these papers become the loveliest starting points, and it's a quick, easy way to start a page or an ATC. Not to mention it's perfect for create dates or for traveling, because you don't need all the paints and the stencils that you have to get that design. So I'm applying this with gel medium underneath and on top, and you can see here where there's no paint, the white actually shows through. And as usual, I didn't say it, but as usual I gessoed the card, just because I'm never quite sure what medium and how much liquid I'm going to end up using. So after drying this and smoothing it down, now this one turned out rather smooth. Sometimes it ends more wrinkles. I just call that texture. So quickly trim this out. Now if you don't have deli paper, you don't have gel prints, you can use scrapbook papers. You can use colored sections with interesting designs and patterns and colors from a magazine, which might make an interesting, colorful background for you. Now, I had used this stencil to put the paint on the deli paper, and one of my favorite things to do is use the same stencil in a couple different ways on the same project. So this time I'm going to use this stencil, and I'm going to put kind of a swirl through the middle, which is another thing that I'm kind of into these days, with this light and fluffy modeling paste from the Crafters Workshop. This is a new product to me, and I really like it. I have always used the Liquitex flexible modeling paste, and I like that. But this one is very nice and easy to work with as well. So I'm just applying this with a palette knife, and then using the palette knife to remove any of the modeling paste that I ended up where I don't want it to be. And as you can see, it's not exactly perfect. Not every one of those flowers is perfectly formed or come out. And then I'm giving this a good dry, especially if you are going to add any liquid later, because if you don't, it will kind of deteriorate and you might end up with a mess. Don't ask me how I know. So I decide to use my archival black ink, although I could have used navy. That would have looked lovely on this one as well. And I'm just edging it. And quite often, you know, I do this fairly early. It just frames it and helps me figure out what I want to do with the page, or in this case, this mini. So now I am auditioning several things that I have out on my desk. This ballerina that I cut with my silhouette, this free printable butterfly. That teal color works so nice, but you know, let's admit it, you know, butterflies, I do enough butterflies. This is a textured heart embellishment that I made that is that same aqua color. That could work. And then I decide to turn it on its side, and I grabbed these owl embellishments. And what attracted me to this one is that purple is the same as the purple in the background. And that modeling paste line through the middle is kind of like a branch that the owl's sitting on. So I'm really liking this. And I grab a sentiment. As you know, I keep a box of sentiments. I print out a bunch. This one is on sticker paper. Some of them are not. And I just keep them in this box for when I'm doing minis. You know, I don't go to the computer and print out something new or stamp. I have them at the ready, so it makes it easy. Now here I thought I wanted to make the modeling paste area stand out a little bit more, and I'm applying this purple paint, and oh yeah, that did not work. So then I water down the purple paint, and I'm just painting it on this pattern, the modeling paste, with that. And I'm, you know, to be honest, right about now, I'm thinking, you know, I think I liked it better white. And if I was doing it again, I definitely would have painted it whiter, because sometimes the modeling paste isn't quite an opaque white. I would have used pearlized paint, or the Crafters Workshop Light and Fluffy modeling paste, which would give a pearlized and white effect. You can add the paint into the modeling paste, but the modeling paste, because it is white and it doesn't dry clear, will lighten whatever color you're putting into that. It's not something I typically do. I'm not sure why. And of course, you can buy modeling paste that is colored, but I'd have to have every color. So I'm not exactly sure where I want this owl to go. You know, I'm setting it up. It's just something about it isn't quite looking quite right for me yet. You know, I'm turning it over. Is that better? Then I decide, you know, I'm missing the white, so I thin some white acrylic paint, and I am just splattering it on. And of course, I've got some globs there, and I just grab a baby wipe and remove them fairly quickly. No fuss, no muss. But I like how this splattering of white, this snowstorm that I treated my card to, you know, kind of lightened up the background. Then I grab my fine liner bottle, and there is watered down Liquitex Basic White paint in here. And I just love using this fine liner bottle. I got it at Christmas, and it just makes me happy to use it. And I'm going around framing this picture in the white. Again, I want to lighten it up a bit because it did get dark when I painted the dark on there. But that stencil, doesn't that look like lilacs to you? I might have to play with that and make a lilac. So I'm back to putting this in place. And, you know, this quote is, or the sentiment says, seek balance. And that's what was wrong. It was off balance. And when I cut it and I stacked that there, somehow that seemed to balance the owl on the one side with the quote on the other. I don't know if that makes sense, but I actually started giggling when I realized that my quote was telling me what I needed to do on the card. So I'm applying a fairly good dose of gel medium to the back of this owl. It is a sticker, but I don't trust dollar store stickers to stick on longer. I'm edging the sentiments with a purple archival ink with a makeup sponge. And that just makes it blend in. I could have done that with black if I had wanted. You know, it's a personal choice. And just trying to get the placement just right. Sometimes we can spend so much time tweaking it, moving it a centimeter this way and a centimeter that way. You know, and it's just not working. My thumbs I seem to be all thumbs. So I grabbed my tweezers, and that just helps me be able to get it where I want it to go. Don't you love my inky fingers? And get that in place. And there you have the finish mini. Now, like the last couple, I turned this one into a magnet, and first thing I did is I just paint the back black, being careful not to get the black paint on the front. And I'm just reusing this magnet that was kind of a giveaway or freebie from the realtor that sold our house. And yes, I've used the same end part of this video. In the last two videos, I actually made all three of these minis in the same sitting. So if it's struck you, seems like you've seen it before, yes, you've seen this part before. And I'm just cutting strips, the width, a little bit less than the width of the mini. And I'm going to use Gorilla Glue to apply the strips, the magnetic strips, to the top and bottom. When I tried to put these on the fridge, I think it might have been helpful to have some magnet maybe in the middle as well. Especially because it's mixed media, you know, it doesn't lie exactly perfectly flat. Thanks for watching. Be sure to share your mini in my Facebook group. Bye for now.